my son Cooper all of a sudden wants to work for free. I've got tons to talk about here, including sometimes you've got to slow down to speed up. Listen in and enjoy.
You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Misha Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy.
So if you've been following my podcast for a bit and listening, you know that about 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago, my son Cooper, who's 22 years old, jumped in, saw what I was doing, and was like, "Dad, I want to help you grow the influence army. I want to learn how to make funnels. I want to be an entrepreneur." And just jump in the mix, you know. He was very inspired by my mission to help heart-centered entrepreneurs bring their message to market in a big way, to help heart-centered entrepreneurs increase their impact, their income, their authority, all by going on an influence tour. Call it a podcast guest speaking tour. Call it getting on as many virtual stages as you can to spread your message. And at the same time, he was feeling some strife in his current career. Since he was 16 years old, he had been working in restaurants, like fast food restaurants, and been a manager at Jersey Mike's for 5 years, and actually doing very well at that. He ran a tight ship. He was a great leader. He had the young kids working hard, keeping the place. The Jersey Mike's that he managed, ship shape. You know, he had a ton of skills and was, managing inventory, food costs, the personnel costs. There you go. But anyway, he just was kind of burning out on it, and he was trying to, get a raise, not a raise, to get a promotion within the franchisor and or the franchisee, whatever. Yes, the franchisee. He had 5 or 6 or so of Jersey Mike's franchises, and there was a lot of family that worked for the franchisee, so he had a lot of his family helping him, and so they were the ones that were becoming area managers, regional managers, stuff like that, which is awesome. That's a great family affair. But Cooper was wanting to do something different, so he jumped in and full force, and oh my gosh, all of a sudden was able to build funnels in ClickFunnels, was able to, was learning email autoresponders. We use ActiveCampaign, making thumbnails and all those sorts of things in Canva. All the little art and graphics things that you need. What else was he learning? Just all these programs and apps and all these things. Just learning. Just a ton of information, and just really doing really cool stuff. And he's like, "Hey, I want to quit my job and pay me, and let's work something out." And so I did. I was paying him, and been paying him for about 6 weeks, and it's very interesting. As soon as we were like, "Hey, here's how much I'm going to pay you. Both of us had a shift in our mindset, and neither good nor bad, but just a shift. And that shift was pressure. We both all of a sudden felt a ton of pressure, and we were thinking, oh my gosh, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've got a new salary on board. I have to get offers out. I have to, get more members in ASAP. Like, this stuff has got to move faster. I've got to have more revenue. I've got bills to pay. Man, I was just feeling that pressure. It was crazy. And then Cooper all of a sudden was feeling pressure to perform. And not that either of those things are bad for either of us, but I try to be in the mindset of for free and for fun. Would I be doing this for free and for fun? Would I be doing this anyway? Even if there was no, financial gains to be had, even if there was no, success to be had. Like, I'd be doing this anyway. I am committed to helping people get their message out there in a strong, efficient way, to get it out there well, to get it out there in a way where people will take action when they hear your message. And, not having to spend money on Facebook ads. Wasting money on Facebook ads is really what it is, or wasting money on social media ads. Wasting money on advertising. So much advertising is ineffective. And especially if you're on the front end of the online marketing journey, learning via spending money on ads is very expensive. And I see it kick people out of the game every day, all day, left and right. People cannot afford, they don't have the money to learn how to market via social media. That's some of the most competitive markets in the world. But anyway, we're all bootstrapping it. And so we're not companies with deep pockets that can experiment with millions of dollars on marketing campaigns, or hundreds of thousands of dollars, or tens of thousands of dollars. Anyhow, I was just feeling a lot of pressure to perform. And Cooper was feeling a lot of pressure to perform, and an obligation to, earn his keep. And really, Cooper right now is trying to figure out what he likes outside of being in restaurants and fast food and being a manager effectively his whole life from 16 until age 22. And so, he needs some flexibility, and he's smart with his finances, so he's got the opportunity to not have to perform financially immediately, which provides flexibility. And how do I want to say this? I guess both of us were feeling so much pressure. He was feeling the pressure to make things happen for me as well. And I don't know how else to say it, but all of a sudden he was like, Dad, we would have conversations. He's like, Dad, I'm kind of burning out on this already, and it's, this stuff is hard. I get emotionally, drained because he's learning so much so fast. And then a lot of the stuff we're learning is incredibly boring. It can be like sitting on videos or trying to sort out how to make buttons work or email sequences work. If that's not your passion, that can be very painful. Now Cooper's getting it done for me. And then the other thing I was going to have him do was start sending out invites for me. Listen to some podcasts, find some good targets. We build the target list, and then we listen to an episode, and then we structure the email, the pod pitch email, to the show host so we can guest speak on it we structured around an episode. At the end, we just add a little bit of personalization at the end of the emails for me saying, hey, I listened to this podcast, I loved it. And he puts it at the beginning on his template, hey, I listened to your podcast, I loved it. We think Misha would be a good fit. But anyway, a lot of mundaneness, minutia, a lot of things that can feel like a grind if you're not if it's not something that you're excited to do, if it's not in your wheelhouse, shall we say. Anyhow, I think you get the picture. I've painted it enough. But feeling the pressure to perform in a way that blocks us off from the sunlight of the spirit, right? It blocks us off from the natural flow of what we're doing and having fun and that creative process. And I believe this 100%. Some of you listening might go, that's not true. You have to be pushing, grinding, working hard, making it happen. I'm going to challenge you and say, yeah, you know what? Sometimes you've got to slow down to move faster. Sometimes you have to slow down to move faster. And when Cooper said to me, he said, hey, I'm totally willing to keep helping you. I just don't want to feel the pressure of all this because I'm not enjoying it. He said, hey, you're giving me access to all this great training. You're teaching me entrepreneurial stuff. You're teaching me business stuff. He says, you're giving so much. You don't need to pay me. Just, hold that space for me. Give me the opportunity. And he felt instant relief. And then I felt instant relief too. And I had this thought had been going in through my mind over the past, week or so. I need to slow down to speed up. I need to slow down, breathe deep. Whenever I'm feeling the pressure, I need to pause. I need to acknowledge that I'm feeling that pressure. I need to pause. Then I need to pray. Pray to my God, hey, how can I be of service? What's the next step here? Then I need to listen. And then I need to embody what I'm hearing. And this also goes along with my clean framework, which is I want to be centered. I want to be loving. I want to be energized. I want to feel like I'm aligned with source of what I'm doing. And then I want to have non-attachment. I want to have non-attachment to outcomes. I want to have minimal expectations. I do. And I know so many of us work from this place of expectations and attachment, and that's what drives us. But I have consciously been trying to work from a different space, from pure service, from as little ego as possible, from pure service, from pure connection to source and what I need to be doing or not doing. Do I need to be praying, meditating, breathing, taking a step back? And the answer is yes to all of that. I do need to be taking a step back. I do need to consciously be going, all right, I need to step back, breathe, slow down, pray, find that true source of inspiration, recharge, re-energize. And if I only worked 4 hours a day and the rest of the time I was in conscious meditation and regeneration, I would be hyper efficient for that 4 hours. And that's the truth of it. And I'm already feeling the effects as I've been thinking, slow down to speed up. And I wrote down the other day, what if I only was fully engaged on the computer for 4 hours? And I'm already moving faster by slowing down, recharging, re-energizing, trying to do less and prioritize the one thing that needs to get done and stop worrying about all this collateral stuff and trusting. Anyway, as soon as Cooper says, hey, I want to work for free, it freed him. I mean, when he told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I have been putting so much pressure on myself and him to move fast and not to slow down and trust the process. And so the instant he said that, I knew it was the right thing to do. I was like, you're right, Cooper. Like, absolutely. I'm here to keep holding space and support you. And how can I support your path? Setting aside my own selfish wants, desires, and fears. And it's freed up the space for him to work a lot less for me and explore and do other things. And he feels very empowered. And on my end, you know, I'm freed to slow down, and I'm speeding up. It's so powerful. But I'll end with this. No matter what Coops is doing, and there's a great chance that I'll help him find opportunities to build funnels, because that's what he's loving. Cooper is loving building funnels, and he's really good at it, and he can't wait to build some funnels for some people. And me being embedded in the industry, of course I'm going to find people who need funnels. But anyhow, he was a catalyst for me to start delegating. And I have a much clearer vision of how I can delegate, whether it's to Cooper or to anyone else. So it's been a massive, massive gift. Cooper is still in the game with me, but we are finding a different way for him to fit. Anyway, there you go. I'm going to end here. Remember, sometimes you've got to slow down to speed up and allow your God, the universe, call it what you will, to guide you on the most important things that need to be done or not done. All right, I'm out. Have a good day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.